SAinabou is SAinabou. SAinabou is I could be a leader. I could be a learner. I could be SAinabou can be whatever you need me to be at what point you need me to do it. I feel like I'm a very flexible person. I have a very flexible personality. I can switch it up for this, I can switch it up for you, and then I can go to the homegirls and I switch it up for them. I just can do anything whenever it needs to be done.
Tell me about your name.
My father is Gambian, West Africa. It's actually, people would say island, but really it's an isthmus because it's only water on two sides, and the island would be, surrounded by water. But it's actually like a isthmus right there between Senegal and Nigeria, West Africa. My grandmother's name was SAinabou. My father named me, since I was his first girl, named me after his mother. From what I hear, SAinabou was a very powerful person. She died I didn't even get to meet her. She couldn't speak English, and I couldn't meet her, but she did. I did correspond with my aunts, and we, they translated for her, and we spoke. But it's actually an old name. I got it from my grandmother, and SAinabou was one of Prophet Muhammad's wives. To sum it all up.
What is it that you like to do?
I like to listen. I'm getting more on reading, but I like to listen as I get older. I like to be informed, because just because you got a degree, that don't mean you got the knowledge. So as I get older, I try to listen more, and that's what I like to do: listen and talk to other people and find out what they do to do what they're doing, and what are they doing to be able to do what they want to do. I like to listen. I like to be around people. I don't have any particular hobbies. I love to shop for shoes. That's my, if you want to get down to the point, I love to shop for shoes. I'm a shoe shopper, shoe freak. Just love it.
Where'd you grow up?
I'm born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. Born and raised. Never moved. I've been out of the city, but I've never moved. I've traveled a lot. Actually, I traveled more when I was younger than I do now as an adult. I traveled a lot.
Where have you been?
I've been to Florida, Maryland, D.C., New York, Seattle, Mississippi, Memphis, Tennessee, and Chattanooga, Tennessee. I've been to a couple places in Tennessee. I think that's it.
What was the most interesting place you've gone to?
New Albany, Mississippi, which is where my mother is from. And it's right there. It's 80 miles from Memphis, Tennessee, and it's right by Tupelo. If anybody, Elvis Presley is from Tupelo. So that's probably how a lot of people know about Tupelo. And New Albany is like 20 minutes. And it was interesting because the biggest place was a Walmart. And coming from the city, I'd never seen that before. So it was interesting. All the other places, D.C. and New York. My father, African state, traveled a lot, So he went to different places, he lived in different cities, and that was the only way I was able to be exposed to those different cities. But everything was city-like. I was raised in the city. He lived in cities, but New Albany, Mississippi was a whole new world.
How was that experience for you?
It motivated me, because for one, my mom, she's already enough motivation, and she actually has been in Atlanta longer than she was at home. She left New Albany, Mississippi when she was 19 years old. And she never went back. So it's like when I seen what she was talking about, I was just like, oh no, I got to do better than what you did, so I can make sure I don't end up in a place like this. It's worse than, Savannah is like a paradise compared to where she's from.
What's your dream job?
Dream job? A film director. That's my dream job.
Why?
Like I said, I like to lead. I really like to be the boss, and I think that comes from me being the only girl in the house. I was the youngest, but I was the only girl, so I kind of always got my way. I was always kind of bossy. My brothers, they were grown, but I used to they wasn't doing what they were supposed to be doing. I cuss them out. It was just like, I'm used to being the boss. I'm used to, giving the orders, not taking them, and that's why. Actually, my dream job is my own job, my own business, where I work for myself. That's my dream job. But if I had to work, it would be as a film director.
If you had to have your own business, what kind of business would it be?
It would be in production. Have a production studio. I really want to venture out and do different things. Have different establishments, not just with production, because that's what I'm going to school for, but other things. I really would like to work with children. One of the things we did a paper in English 2104. I think Brie was in that class with me. Anyway, we did a paper on it, and I still want to get a grant to open up like a facility for inner city youth, so that, you know, just because right now it's just the Boys and Girls Club, and with the budget cuts, a lot of I don't know about here, but in Atlanta, a lot of the Boys and Girls Clubs are there, you know, they're shutting down. So I wanted to get something for. I love working with children, and that's my main. Eventually, at some point in my life, I want to do something for kids to help them and better them for their future, prepare them for their future, because I didn't really have, I had a single parent, and my mom worked all the time, so I got all my, you know, information and a lot of my things from the outside, you know, going to summer camp and teachers and stuff like that. I got a lot of outside parenting because my mama was always at work.
What is your strongest memory that shapes your philosophy today?
I have a brother in prison. He's still in prison. He's finna be out in December. He's been in there for 10 years. He went in. He missed my high school graduation. He went in when I was 21. Now he went in. I was in 7th grade. He actually went to prison. He went to jail 2 days after 9/11. That's how I remember it so well, because it was actually 2 days before 9/11. That's how I remember it so well when everything went down. And that was just. I cried at night, you know, my brother, because I would never think that that would happen. He got caught up in the situation, and because, you know, I was his little sister, it hurt me. So seeing him get caught up and, you know, in such a situation, and he had to serve 10 years in prison, that made me just want to make sure I do better. And then I have nieces and nephews. I'm the youngest of 3 boys, and I have 5 nieces and nephews, and they're my motivation, because one of my brothers is in prison, one of my brothers doesn't have a high school diploma, and one of my brothers, he's just jobless. He's just a loser. To sum it up, he's a loser. So I want to be that example for my nieces and nephews, because, to be honest, their parents aren't, you know, the example that they need. That's why I want to graduate from school, and so I can tell them, look, y'all need to go get that degree. Y'all need to do this, because their parents can tell them, but they can't really force them, because they're going to look at them and say, well, you didn't go, you didn't do anything, so I don't have to do it because you didn't do it. So they're my main motivation, and like I said, my brother going to prison was life changing for everybody, and so that right there makes me want to just do better. So I want, you know, I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about getting caught up in that situation, because I'm gonna have my education, I'm gonna have my degree, I'm gonna be successful, so I won't have to, you know, be caught up in situations that, you know, is gonna end me up in prison or dead one.
You want to be an inspiration?
Yes. Very much so. That's why I say I like working with children, because like I said, I like to lead, and, you know, leading by example is the best way to lead.
Where did you get this passion for children from?
Like I said, my nieces, my brothers were already grown. You know, my oldest brother was 18 when my mama had me, and they had their children. And I was actually, how old was I when my first niece was born? I was 6 years old when my first niece was born, and because my brothers, they were still young, they were still partying, so really I practically raised them, you might as well say, because I was young, but I was babysitting. I made sure they ate, you know, they was with me. My niece, she's 13 years old to this day, she can tell you she was with me. I raised her, really, because her parents were still out, and they was just doing a lot. So that's where that come from. I was so young, but I was dealing with children. I was a child, but I was, you know, I was dealing with children, and, you know, really taking care of children when I was young. So that right there, you know, just having my nieces and nephews, they brought me in. That's one reason why I would like to help children, because, like I say, I have them. And, you know, everything, you plant the seed. You know, you have a daughter, so you helping us. When she get our age, she might have a teacher like you to help us and help us better ourselves. So that's how I feel. I want to plant the seed and help other people's children, because I don't know who may have to help mine or my nieces and nephews.
Good.